Welcome to the Morning Report, a production of fightbackmedia.com, the #1 source of urban conservative information in America.
As I said last week, the Democratic Party is in a completely different place right now. There's no identified leader of the party. They don't have a clear vision. They seem rudderless. In hopes of finding themselves, they've latched onto this new shiny object called the rule of law. Well, we'd like to welcome them to the concept. It would be admirable if they hadn't spent the last 4 years with their heads buried in the sand while Biden literally trampled over the rule of law with no objection. In fact, many Democrats cheered that lawlessness, like when the Biden administration unconstitutionally forced the middle class to pay the student loans of doctors and lawyers, when they illegally mandated that private companies implement vaccine requirements, when they radically rewrote Title IX to undermine women's rights. Those things were actually illegal, and the Democratic Party cheered it. They didn't oppose it at all. President Trump, by contrast, is taking legitimate executive action to root out waste, fraud, and abuse in all these federal programs. That's what the American people demand and deserve. That's what they voted for. They voted for a real analysis and a real change, transformational kind of change in the way the federal government works. And the only people who take issue with it are these same congressional Democrats who never before had any issue with unelected staff or even bureaucrats running the White House for the last 4 years. That's not what's happening here. The president has empowered his new cabinet secretaries and the DOGE effort and all of these branches, divisions in the executive branch of government to go and find where the abuses have taken place. And every time something new is unearthed and uncovered and we share it with the people, they applaud that this has been discovered and they want us to keep going. And that's what's going to happen.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Glad that you are with us this glorious morning. Listen, things are getting real. A couple of days ago, Speaker Johnson from Louisiana called out Democrats' double standard on the rule of law in this powerful press conference that I just showed you. You saw House Speaker Mike Johnson expose the glaring hypocrisy of Democrat lawmakers who are suddenly championing the rule of law after years of turning a blind eye to the Biden administration's constitutional overreach. You saw Johnson masterfully dismantle the Democrats' newfound legal sanctimony, pointing out their conspicuous silence during the years of Biden's executive overreach. Mike Johnson highlighted how the left conveniently ignored numerous instances of constitutional violations when it served their political agenda. For years, he says, Democrats have buried their heads in the sand. I think they had their heads buried somewhere else, but Johnson is a Christian man. While Biden undermined the rule of law without opposition, Johnson declared before delivering a devastating critique of Biden's administrative track record. He specifically calls out several egregious examples of government overreach, including the administration's attempt to force middle-class Americans to pay for elite professional student loans. So if you forgive all the student loans, you forgive the guy who is a surgeon, and the guy who works in the car wash has to pay for that. The unconstitutional vaccine mandates imposed on private businesses, the radical rewriting of Title IX that undermines women's rights. While Democrats scramble to criticize President Trump's recent executive orders, their selective outrage has become increasingly apparent. Despite baseless accusations from Congressman Scott Peters in California and inflammatory rhetoric nonsense from Representative Ilhan Omar from Minnesota, claiming that Trump is dismantling democracy, the facts tell a different story. Speaker Johnson set the record straight, explaining that Trump is simply fulfilling his promise to the American people by taking legitimate executive action to eliminate government waste and efficiency. He's doing exactly what Americans voted for: real analysis and transformational change. The difference, the contrast between Trump's America First agenda and the previous administration's bureaucratic bloat is what we're looking at. The controversy has extended to the judicial branch, where some federal courts have attempted to stop Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, completely overstepping their boundaries. Vice President J.D. Vance appropriately reminded the judiciary of its constitutional limitations, asserting that judges cannot interfere with a legitimate executive authority. Speaker Johnson strongly endorsed this position, praising DOGE's crucial work in streamlining government operations. As this battle continues, the stark difference between the conservative principles of limited government and the left's selective application of constitutional principles become increasingly clear to the American people. This is like the non-Christians who want to bring up the Bible to get conservative Christians to do what they want them to do, to sort of shame them into stuff. This is the same kind of stuff. What about separation of powers? What about blah, 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 blah? What about not having the... Fact of the matter is that the Democrats have run roughshod over the Constitution, over the American public for a long time, and especially the last 4 years. If anybody doesn't believe that this is the third, that Biden's first and only term was the third term of Barack Obama, then you're nuts, because that's exactly what it was. And they are screaming like stuck pigs. Why? Say it with me again. I've been saying it all week. Because a hit dog will holler, right? A hit dog will holler, screaming and yelling about every little thing, by really not coming to the defense of any of this madness. Like, I don't know, Iraqi Sesame Street. Are you defending that? Are you not defending it because we know it's not real? Any case, thank you ever so much for joining us here. This will come out on, let's see, Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us on Thursday. We got one more day of the week. Can't wait. Today is Friday Eve. Hope that you're enjoying Friday Eve. Hey, listen, before we let you go, our friends Kevin and Janelle Batts at Red River Media have put their documentary, Trans Oklahoma, The Dark Side of the Rainbow, on YouTube. I have put the link to the video on the fightbackmedia.com page. Just go across the top and click on Trans Oklahoma. That'll take you to the YouTube video. You can watch the whole thing there for free. Share that with your friends. Share that with your church, your church family, your pastors, elders in the church. You know, Sister Eloise. Share it with everybody who really needs to know what they don't know about this whole trans thing and the really dark side of it. My hat's off to both Kevin and Janelle. Janelle, fabulous job on this documentary soap. I'll put the link in the description box under this video. And remember, you can always go to the fightbackmedia.com website and click on the heading Trans Oklahoma to check out the video. All right, we got to get out of here and make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now. Oh, hi, my name is Willie Lawson. I hope you're enjoying the morning report today, or tonight, or whenever you're watching. I would like to ask you something. I'd like to ask for your participation in what we're doing. It is very apparent that the establishment media has lost their influence on the American public. And it is independent media like this and others that are carrying the torch for the republic. A lot of us creators out here are, frankly, small creators. I consider myself like a macro creator. I'm proud to be a macro creator. You know, we could always use a little assistance here. You can imagine that YouTube doesn't like me very much. So we can't really monetize through YouTube, but we can monetize through our website. We'd like for you to go to fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, and offer whatever assistance that you deem that we are worthy of. That would be very helpful. You can do as little as $1 a month. $1 a month to help us keep the website up, to help us make sure that we have what we need here in the studio, make this thing better, hopefully make it better. We could really use your help. Thank you ever so much. We're going to get on with the program. Again, go out there and do what you do. We appreciate you being here. Again, go out there and learn something, love somebody. And for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you.